Hey everybody, welcome back to the what are we doing? Welcome back to the Hollow Knight Murders podcast.
Yes, welcome back.
I'm AJ, and I'm joined here by the Bomb Bad Batch of Jamie, Matt, and Jack.
Sure.
I was really thrown by Jack's tech goggles. I looked right into them as I was doing my intro.
Completely glazed over, like you can't even see his eyes.
Yeah,
It's just like
I freaking love that feature. Quite
but
it's got full tech.
We're back. It's pretty much Bad Batch season. Next week, we kick off the new season, the final season, season 3 of the Bad Batch. And Jack, it's good to see you. We haven't talked in a little bit, so
I know.
It's good to be back in season here, Hollow Knight Marauders live season. Jamie and I did a little breakdown of the trailer a couple weeks ago, whenever it dropped, a few weeks ago now. I don't know what it was, but Matt and Jack. Matt, I know your thoughts because we talked on, in person probably, and also like on the Convor call about it at that trailer that day too. But we'll get to your thoughts in a minute. But Jack, when that trailer came out, like, what are your thoughts on that trailer, and what intrigued you the most?
I was like, oh man, Bad Batch is back. Heck yeah! Like, I love when they just drop a trailer and it's like in a month, so it's coming quick, and that's always exciting because I hate waiting. And it had fallen out of my brain long enough that when it came out, I was like, oh yeah, oh no, and oh no, is the winter tech. Because I'm afraid I'm on board with that theory because that seems a little too likely right now based on that one character's posing and just like the design of his armor. I'm hoping it's just a red herring because I would rather Tech have died nobly. But
what would be the most fun outcome of that? Like
fun?
Well, not fun. Most the word I like the most, juiciest. What's the juiciest outcome of Tech's situation here? Like, is it?
Oh, that he wasn't even brainwashed.
Is Winter Tech what we want? Like, I don't know.
I think if it was Winter Tech, imagine if he wasn't even brainwashed. Like someone just like gave him like a really good point and said, "Oh, that's quite logical. I will do it."
I think maybe the juiciest would be the Empire actually didn't take him, and all they found was the goggles, and so Hemlock was just like taunting Hunter, saying, "Oh, he's dead. Here's his goggles," but that's like literally all the Empire found. So maybe he's just out there like running around blind,
being raised by Wampas or something.
Yeah.
In exile.
And you find Tech, it's like Chucky without his glasses from Rugrats.
He's got the beadiest eyes.
The raisin eyes.
That might be the best outcome.
And then somebody has to go bring his goggles to him, and he's like, "It's time for the Bad Batch to end." That's the juiciest. That's the juiciest.
If we had a second trailer, that would be in it. But
yeah, there you go.
That'll be the mid-season trailer, I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah.
But Jack, there's a few other juicy things. I'm using this. What's the over/under on how many times I use this word tonight? But
Spicy's good too.
Ventress is in the trailer. What are your thoughts on that?
I forgot about Ventress.
Very spicy.
Yeah, that's some spicy goodness.
Muy caliente.
I'm curious. They said that they were going to address Dark Disciples. So I don't. How did she supposedly die in that? Because I haven't actually read it. But
she dies, and
how
she dies.
Did you read a body? Did you read a body?
But then they put her body into a pond on Dathomir, and it's like the spirits of like the Night Sisters like welcoming her back. So like she literally gets like buried in like a forced pond.
That's a tough one.
So anything could happen.
Maybe the spirits kicked her out. Maybe they welcomed her and then they didn't like her, so
they were like, no, not yet. But yeah, they literally had to release a public statement saying that they're not going to change the events of Dark Disciple. This is something else. So
clone.
We'll see what happens then.
Cloners.
I mean, I honestly,
haircut.
While
is
I
great,
would,
say.
I don't think I'd be like the biggest fan of it. I think that might be the conclusion I'm coming to for Ventress, is that it's like a clone of her or something. I
But
mean,
Force.
It could be a big smack in the face. Come on.
We haven't had that yet.
But
well, that's
we don't
the
cloning,
thing.
Really counts.
cloning
Ah,
a
you
force
don't know.
sensitive, that's touchy.
Cloning a Force
touchy
sensitive-
Hey,
subject.
how do we
Disney
know she has the
Palpatine
Force?
Well, I mean, like Mando was like, "Oh
True.
yeah, we can totally do it," but then when they actually execute it with Palpatine, it's like this awful husk of a man.
No, yeah.
It's,
I
it's
mean,
what Mr. Krabs
Mm.
made in the kitchen.
Yeah,
this
right
he has this
there.
diarrhea.
That's the nasty patty of Palpatine.
Yeah.
No, legit. No, I don't even. If it's a clone, I don't think she'll be Force sensitive. And if she isn't a clone, then that
I didn't
answers itself.
mind like the Force Unleashed timeline where like cloning was like, "Oh yeah, we can totally clone a Force sensitive," and it's like no problem.
Yeah,
It's just like them's the rules, so I'm just trying to make sure we're following them.
They just go
Uh,
crazy.
They were
I don't
going. They're
know.
going ham.
Yeah, I mean, like maybe it's like what's the pit called? The Lazarus Pit in DC Comics.
Batman.
Batman.
Yeah.
Maybe somehow you can like, reverse Uno card the Night Sisters.
Ventress Agul.
You heard it here first.
Asajj Al Ghul. Like, come on, it's very.
Asajj Al
very
Ghul.
similar.
Right,
What was
Yeah.
That
it?
sounds
There
so
you go.
good, actually.
There you go.
That's
Asajj Al
That's great.
Ghul.
Write that down. Write that down.
Oh, that is
Um,
good.
But no, I hadn't even like entertained the idea that like she might be a clone because of the fact that like it's such a failure later on. But we know
Yeah.
that the Kaminoans, they're not around at that point. So
Mm.
Well, no, but they are. Didn't we see some
They got one.
Kaminoans in the trailer?
for the Bad Batch, I mean like later on, why like all
Oh,
the
yeah,
Palpatine
yeah.
clones are like husks is because like they lost all the cloning technology at that point in
See
time.
that's the Bad
So-
Batch mission they have to go on this season. They have to kill all
Yeah.
Kaminoans,
Just blow up
Finish
Mount
them off.
Ventress.
All of them.
I
finish
feel
them
like that's
off.
got to be the main mission, is to rescue Omega and Tech and Crosshair if possible. And I mean, obviously Crosshair now too. Like
I was
Tech
about-
if possible, because Crosshair.
I was about
totally
to
on board.
say
Crosshair's
this
like,
guy
"Fuck the Empire."
swapped. This guy swapped names. Tech is supposedly dead.
Yeah,
you're
I
just
know,
acting
right?
like he's
I'm
alive.
just like
You're
acting like
he's
it's
alive the
facts
whole
now.
time.
Um,
You're stuck in denial.
Living in
I know.
denial.
What was I
You got to
saying?
move past that stage.
They got to blow up Mount Tantus because that's like the heart of cloning, and like
Yeah, but they don't know
few
that.
will escape.
The Bad Batch does not know that. Like
But I
think they
Crosshair
will.
and Omega know that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so they'll
and I
find.
think-
Oh yeah,
yeah.
but they were not gonna. They would have to
They
bring
know that.
explosives. No,
What if it's a volcano?
they'll figure out a way to blow things
Oh?
up. That's what they do.
It is a
Hmm.
mountain.
Rika finds a way. All right.
Yeah, well, no, you rescue Omega. Omega tells them the plan to like create Force clones of Palpatine, and they're like, no. And then they go back and blow it up. I could see that being how
Boo.
season
Boo,
3 ends.
actually.
No.
And to go
Yeah.
off that, while we're on Mount Tantus and the trailer, we pretty much get the vibe from the trailer that Omega and Crosshair escape
Oh yeah.
together, maybe in a ship. Jamie, I don't know if you want to take this away here. I know you had some good theories, or we had some
Yeah.
good theories together, but
Well, yeah, we had some times. The trailer itself, there's a lot of just really painfully obvious shots of Crosshair with the Bad Batch in this trailer. I gotta say, and he's like in his old armor again, but like it's like Wrecker and Hunter in their like new wonky season 2 armor. So it's like, oh, he's back with them, but they don't show Omega with them yet. So I'm not quite certain like what could be like happening with that yet. Maybe she's just elsewhere. Who knows? But from what we've seen so far in the trailers, I'm pretty sure that Crosshair and Omega are gonna like escape on their own, or possibly like with assistance from someone else. Maybe Emery Carr, who knows, or just like some other additional unnamed person. But that's it. Why not, right? Because there's a really nice shot of like Omega piloting the ship on her own, and she's
She
in
looks
that
really
little
angry.
Imperial uniform. Yeah, determined, angry.
Determined.
I would say. Pretty much like I have to do this or I will die. That's what like that face was. And then there's another shot of 2 people walking away from the Cross shuttle, which is one of those Imperial shuttles, and I'm pretty sure it's Omega up top, right, and then Crosshair down low. And there's also like a third motion in like the middle. Who could that be? I don't know.
there's like a garbage bag falling down the hill or something.
I think it's a
God.
being falling down the
It's gotta
hill.
be.
A
No.
being,
Yeah, I think
Donkey's a
it's something
being.
alive. No, I
a
think
garbage
mm,
being.
Okay, sure.
A garbage being
What?
on the trash, man.
I knew this
Right.
shit was
They're
real.
trash.
There's a prediction for you. I think there's going to be a new character called the Trash Man.
They
We
escape.
pretty much had that last season.
They
What if Danny
escape with the
DeVito?
trash.
Mm.
Danny DeVito
Not-
plays like a
Danny
a
DeVito
trashy hut.
joins his wife, Rhea Perlman,
Yeah,
on the
'cause
Bad Batch
Perlman's
season
on
3.
here, so-
Why
That'd be
not?
He plays
Danny
the Trash
DeVito
Man,
in Star Wars.
and they
Please.
retcon him into the trash compactor in Episode 4. He was there. He was under the surface. He was bothered by them. He didn't want any part of it.
Tight chin.
So he's the Dianoga?
No.
Wait, he's just in there.
He's just in there. He's in the
He just-
background
I don't know why, but I picture him as the guy from Real Monsters with that holds his
with the
eyeballs.
eyeballs.
That's what he looks like.
Oh man, I haven't thought about that in a while.
Yeah, Trash Man was in the slop closet.
That's true. That's
The
true.
trash man. I wonder if they like talk about that, like just in general, like Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman. Do they like talk about like the Bad Batch, like when she's like done with like sessions from last season, and then possibly if she shows up this season, like do they talk
Do you
about
think
that?
Rhea Perlman has
Possible.
seen the Bad Batch?
It's more likely that
I would hope so.
nowadays record at a studio near you rather than having to fly out to wherever it is. So like they
Yeah.
could easily be at home and it's like,
Hmm.
oh man, I just said the craziest shit for Star Wars.
Exactly.
That was a pretty good Rhea. Pretty good
Okay,
Rhea
cool.
Perlman right there.
I need to know.
I know, right? Oh, that'd be great. He's like, what the hell's a Star Wars? It's like what happened when they tried to
he
like
would
get
know.
him to be Detective Pikachu. He's like, what the heck's a Pikachu?
The thing with the trailer stuff is that most of it comes, or most of it is probably from like the first 5 episodes, maybe. Like, what do you
Yeah,
think? Maybe 5, 6
definitely.
episodes. I know that
Probably.
some people have gotten screeners for the Bad Batch, and it showed the first 8 episodes. So maybe the trailer stuff is from the first 8. I don't know why that just rings a bell in my head, but
Maybe.
so we'll probably see Ventress fairly early on. We'll see Omega and Crosshair escape fairly early on. And I know in our trailer recap, I was like, oh, like we all thought maybe that would be the end game of this season was saving Omega. But that seems to happen pretty early on, if that what we're saying now is correct. So that'll be interesting where this season may go. Jack, you look like you have some thoughts.
Yeah, Jack.
Is it a 2-part? Is it a 2-part season
It's a
premiere?
3-part.
Oh,
Trilogy.
And they're probably
3-part.
going. Yeah. Okay. So there's going to be an Atlantis mission attempt like within this first 3 episodes. I'm going to probably.
Yeah,
that.
they're
Yeah.
leaving.
They're going straight after the throat after everything that they just did.
Imagine if they're out by the 3rd episode. Like, oh, that was quick.
I feel like
Yeah,
it could be
like a
possible.
Mandalore episode, like a Mandalore arc. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
wow, that's done quicker than ever. Okay, what are we doing now?
That happens.
And they just go
sometimes in
back to
shows,
doing
like-
wacky adventures for the rest of the season, and it
No.
just
Yeah,
ends.
why not?
The
I-
end.
I like the wacky adventures, but it's like, come on. Like, I know
Bad
the cool
Batch
stuff's
just-
coming.
Just does some silly stuff for a while, and then the show just kind of ends.
Yeah,
Hmm.
the
In
end.
spectacular fashion.
That'd be great. No,
Matt, what were some of your trailer thoughts that you like? What do you think Ventress is a clone, or what do you think?
No, I mean, I don't know what I think about that.
I know you really like the
uh,
crocodile
don't
in the trailer.
I forgot about the crocodile.
Star
even
Wars
get me.
Bayou.
Don't even get me started on the infinite possibilities that crocodile carries with him.
That's a fair point.
I am excited to see that crocodile. I'm not kidding. I don't know why it's spoken to me like it did, but I'm fully on board and I'm ready to see what they do with that thing.
There's an awful goofy goblin man. You're in his corner. That's what I've learned.
Yeah,
Trash
100%.
man.
And it's
Goofy Goblin Man.
Goofy Goblin Man,
Little
an
green
animal,
bulls.
some kind of
Goofy
creature.
doesn't have to be a goblin every time.
He could be made of plants.
Probably
He
not
could
a
be made
man.
of trash. Whatever. I like him. He's a little guy.
love
Could be a little rock guy. Doesn't matter.
Just
I'm
a
in
big slab of rock. I mean, we all love that.
Yeah. Big. Oh yeah.
Oh,
And especially
Familiar
Dunworms.
style.
Yeah. The original Trash Men.
But yeah,
I don't
Matt,
know where
other-
this is
other than
going.
the crocodile, do you have any other trailer thoughts before we move on to a couple of my other segments here?
Maybe I'm crazy, but I actually think, I hate to say it, I think Tech's dead. I think they're not bringing him back this season. I don't think
Why?
Winter Tech is going to be a thing. Maybe it
Blasphemy.
is. Maybe I'm wrong. most people have already come to the conclusion that it is, and they're probably right. I'm not too deep into the Bad Batch speculation circle online, so I'm not really sure
How
what
dare you?
people probably have pretty good proof that that Tech is in that suit, but I don't know, man.
No, it's pretty nuts out there. I would honestly, it's not clear.
Yeah,
No.
almost anything could happen at
I'll be
this
honest with
point.
you, it's not clear at all. But
I really like. Sorry.
no, go.
I was just gonna say I really like that Fee's back, and I really
Yeah.
hope that we get to hear how she feels about all this, because she did not get the closure that she deserves, nor did Tech. But she's alive and still has to feel that. So
Mm.
I'm
Yeah.
Actually, hearing the
actually,
trailer.
speaking of Rhea Perlman, since we were talking about Rhea Perlman, I'm actually wanting to see oh my god, what's
More
her
Wanda
character's name?
Sykes.
No. Sid. I want Sid. I want to see more Sid. I want to
Ooh.
see Sid come back.
Excuse me.
I
We
hope
were talking
Sid's
about
bar
Fee.
Fell
We
on
were
top
not.
of her.
We were talking about Fee. We were not talking
Fee.
about
We
Sid.
talked
So
about Rhea
therefore, we
Perlman
We
were.
were
about
talking
5
about Rhea
minutes ago.
Perlman.
But we were in that moment talking about Wanda Sykes,
The
not
moment's
talking
past
about
that.
Rhea
We
Perlman.
lost it.
Fee and Sid are good friends who have one
They
syllable
are.
names
There you
and are
go.
pirates.
That's
So
the connection.
that's the connection. I link them in my mind, and if
There's a
Fee's
nice spot in
back,
hell
I would
waiting
hope
for Sid.
No, Sid deserves redemption. She was put in a really rough situation, just like most Star Wars characters who choose poorly are, and I think there is room for her to come back and redeem herself, and I think that's going to happen because they spent so much of the season last season humanizing her,
Oh yeah, she'll be redeemed.
making her well they didn't
That
even
whole
show her
racing
in the
episode
trailer,
was about that.
so, yeah.
There was the beef with what's his face there?
Ernie
The
Hudson.
DeWooten
With Winston from
Ernie Hudson.
from Ghostbusters, yeah, the DeWooten. There was that whole
Wooten.
beef, and then what did he say? Like, oh, you can't trust her. And there was like
Yeah.
a long stare, but like something's gonna get paid off with that. I'd like to
has
see some other things get paid off too. Like, remember not Rio Duran, Roland Duran, not Rio from
Rio.
Solo.
Rio
Okay.
Durant.
And
Rio Durant's gonna be the new Balin Skull. What is wrong with me? Galen Urso.
What?
No. Just
Galen
roll with it.
Urso.
Roll it.
I
Rio
almost
Durant's
said-
gonna be the new
Yes,
Balin
right.
Skull.
I
Just, dude, keep yes-anding it
I
until we
almost
reach
said-
some kind of thing.
almost said Balin Urso, but Galen Urso.
Okay.
Balin Urso. Exactly. We need a new Galen Urso for this season. Go ahead, Jack.
The Winter Tech's armor, I'm just looking at it again just to like really
Winter
hone in
Tech.
on it. The shoulders, that's just what it is at this point. The gauntlets aren't the same. The chest
Summer
obviously
Tech.
is the same. The shoulders are kind of similar to Tech Season 2 armor. And the helmet, if you, instead of having the goggles, just had like ski mask kind of lenses or like motorcycle net lens instead,
I love
it's
this.
pretty much the same. So I think visually they're really trying to make you think it is, because like even the sides, he's got these two little really small light up discs that are similar to Teg's big ol' earmuffs. Visually
How
they
did
really want
he
you to think it is.
Can you
Survive the
compare
fall.
their backsides? We
How
see
how did Darth Maul survive his fall?
anger?
He landed on trash.
He
it all
back
comes
to
back
trash.
to trash.
It all comes back to
Actually,
trash.
Maul was trash, man.
He,
Yes, he
Oh,
He was
the
made of
original
trash.
And that worm guy,
oh,
He was molded by the trash.
he was-
worm hat.
He was molded
Dude.
by the trash. I was born in it.
I was born.
I
in it.
forgot about the worm man or the snake guy. I love Snake Guy.
Yeah, he
because
was
he's
freaky.
He's a little goblin man, and I
was
love
like a
goblin men.
Courage
Little
the Cowardly
goblin
Dog
man?
character.
Do you think that crocodile's gonna talk? Do you think that's like a talking
No.
crocodile?
No.
He
Maybe.
stands on his hind feet and
Oh,
is like,
yeah, I
"Oh,
see
sorry,
that.
didn't see you there."
Yeah,
No.
you know what? That's probably what it is. He probably comes to the surface and like just like opens his mouth and they fall in and he's like, "Oh, sorry about that." He's British, by the way.
And
to
Captain Hook steps
wrestle
up.
him, and then just to like, I don't know, say something Steve Irwin-y, just a little bit.
Yeah, that would be
crocodile?
Yeah,
Dude, honestly,
Wrecker's
Wrecker
gonna, like-
could totally pull that off.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
want
he's-
it. I need
He's
it.
gonna strangle that crocodile because like the crocodile like snaps Hunter's like backpack and like yanks him under the water so quickly. Like I love that shot as well because the first few times we like watched it, we didn't even notice that that Fennec was on the boat, and so she's literally like, huh, like looking back and like, oh
That's right,
god,
the
these
fan boat.
bozos. So like,
So-
she's also gonna be in this season again officially. Although
Crocodile
like, I
talk.
think she like Ming-Na Wen like leaked it like a while ago that she was in season 3.
Mm.
I'm excited for that.
Thank God.
Certainly,
She's excited. She loves it, which I love to see.
certainly
did you
see
guys see
like
the
see more
shark
Fennec
man?
Shand.
The
The what?
who?
At 137, there's a big shark man. He's
Big
got a
shark, like
fin with a
like
big
the guy
fin.
from the Clone Wars who
I
fights
think so.
Kit Fisto.
Oh, I hate that
You know what
arc.
I'm talking about?
The shark arc.
Timestamps 137
shark-
in the trailer if you want to check it out. There's a big shark man. And he
Alright.
looks like he punches the crap out of a trooper.
So
Talk
you're telling
amongst
me we've
yourselves while I
got
pull up the
crocodile
trailer.
men, we've got shark men, we've
He's
got
big.
all manner of men, all manner of animal.
Many
I'll
men.
run it over for big men.
Dude,
Big monster.
honestly,
A lot of
there's some-
dudes.
There's some Animorphs stuff going on in here,
There's
and
a
I'm
lot.
here for it.
A lot to unpack with this.
Do you think they
Xenomorph?
turned?
I
Do
saw
you
it
think they
flipping off
turned
on
Tech
Peter
into a
style.
crocodile? Do you think that's
God.
that's what they did?
What
This
on
might be an
earth?
Animorph situation.
Darth trailer. All right, here we go. Star Wars.
Yeah,
Darth
there's just
Vader.
like, what was that shark? Was it Shark Gang? Like, what the hell was that 90s cartoon?
Yeah,
Was it shark?
Street Sharks. Street Sharks.
Street Sharks.
Shark
thank you. Yeah,
gummies.
he's
So-
got, he's
yeah.
like, this guy's like a Street Sharks looking ass.
The sad thing
plays-
is, I
he
know what
plays
you're
hockey?
talking about.
Dude, the Street
What?
Sharks are awesome.
I remember
I
Street
love-
Sharks.
I love all of the TMNT ripoffs from the 80s and 90s, like
It
Battle
was pretty much
Toads and
rocket
Street
power,
Sharks.
but with sharks.
It's
Yeah.
so funny that like
What
people were like,
sharks?
"Oh, let's just make a group of anthropomorphic animal people doing like radical cool stuff."
Yeah, what is it with the 90s? Where they're just like, we just need weird monster people doing regular.
That's
shit.
Where's Shark
Star
Man?
Wars.
137.
137. Here we
Looking
go,
at the
guys.
trailer. What do we
Here
have?
we go. Here we go.
We're
Come
gonna
on,
see
big
what
shark
trailer.
man. Come on,
Hopefully
shark
Robin
man.
goes for it.
There he is!
Oh, right, that guy.
Bulbasaur.
Okay.
Holy
This
crap!
fucking Street Shark looking ass. Look at
That
him.
is. Bring back the
Holy
gummies.
crap!
You get a better
Dude.
shot of him a couple clips. Hold on, keep going.
Can we get Bad Batch
Oh.
gummies?
Ooh.
They
Oops.
make Grogu
Oops,
gummies.
daisies.
Why can't we get Bad Batch gummies that are like guns and knives?
Guns
And
and
skulls.
knives, gummies,
There's purple
guys.
clone.
Get your teeth.
Look at
Yeah,
that
purple
guy.
clone.
Okay, purple clone.
The crosshairs rifle, just there.
There he is.
This guy
There he
gets
goes.
mauled.
Big
That's
boy.
definitely on Tantus. That's gonna be episode 3. Calling it now.
Oh look,
There's a big monster.
nuts.
Oh yeah.
So you're telling me Mount Tantus has a bunch of
Whoa.
genetically modified shark men guarding its perimeter at all times?
Who would have
Of course.
thought?
No notes.
This is a big deal, guys.
No doubt.
Although it might just be like other experiments. Who knows? Just like
Where's
oh, they're
Winter
out.
Tech?
Winter Tech. Oh, where is
Right
There it
here.
is.
No, that's Cad Bane.
Where's Firebolt or Deadbolt or whatever his
that?
name
It's
was?
right before that,
Firebolt.
those ships. It's like 103.
He's later
or
on.
103. There you go.
Jack
Okay.
came ready with
That's
the
the front.
timestamp.
That's the back end.
Oh, here we go.
If you
That's
play it,
look
the front.
look
the
at that
front
ass.
for a
Tell
second.
me that's not tech. You guys wouldn't understand. Jack might understand.
Yeah, you know
I'll
what?
go get my helmet that's half sanded.
No.
I mean, that is how.
Damn it.
That is a
That
very
is-
tech stance.
That's
I think-
very tech.
I think
oh
it-
man.
It's
Can that be
potential.
yours?
Look, it's potential to be tech, but at the end of the day, like it
Yeah,
could
that's
just be another one of those assassin clones from last season, and like
Mm.
they
Yeah.
just like switched
There's
up the
nothing.
armor because that's also a possibility. But
Maybe.
Definitely. Oh, let's take a look at those guys.
we've been
yeah.
fooled before.
Who's those guys?
Assassin
I'd
Clone
Mount
Stormtroopers.
Tantus,
Let me take a look at that. Clone X, they're called. What a stupid name, frankly.
What's this logo?
Clone X. I don't know. It's her own logo. So what?
No, he's got this weird ass looking helmet. I don't know how.
It's the
else
same
to
color
describe
as Hunter's shoulder pad. A little
it.
bluer.
It's got a stupid look. I'll put it in the description.
Are you telling me that
Wow.
maybe Ventress joins them?
She
So
does have
there
a
is
similar
a-
little look.
I mean, she
They're
is like probably a
color
good
scheme's
guy in
the
this.
same.
Hold on. There is a similarity. There's a similar disc on the side. I think this is actually.
Oh boy, Jack's like deep into like the armor talk.
I hear
Yeah.
computer
boy.
noises coming from Jack that literally sound like GoldenEye computers. No, so
They literally-
the game.
Talk about like 90s cliches. He's literally like, I see
I'm
that.
pulling it up now.
He's got a
It
super
is.
pencil.
I'm sending you the files.
I'm in.
They're in your inbox.
Oh, they're dropping a firewall.
Oh no, I'm being counterhacked.
Oh no.
Counteract. I bet that's like a 90s movie.
Dude,
Counter.
that's
Hackers?
that's
Counter
That's
from
a late 80s classic.
is that from
Isn't it?
NCIS? Did you ever see the NCIS episode where the
Oh,
where the
I
hacker lady
freaking
is
hate
like,
that.
we're being hacked, and then she like calls the second guy over, and he starts typing on the keyboard with her typing on the
I'm the
keyboard, so
same
that they're
one,
both
yeah.
typing on the
Probably.
keyboard. That's
It
so
makes me
it's
so
funny.
mad.
It's so funny. That's so good. Do you think that's gonna happen in this season of Bad Batch? Do you think that's gonna happen? Do you think
I
we're gonna
want,
get
maybe.
that?
I want Tech to come back just to be annoyed by that possibility.
So they can have a hack off.
Yes, dude, hack off.
That's what breaks his conditioning. He's like, I'm sorry, are you
Hacker
both running
man.
the same keyboard? This is ridiculous. I can't take this.
And they're
He's not
they're
my
calling
conditioning.
in, and they're like, Tech, what are you doing? He's like, I'm hacking off. Hold on.
I'm
Hack it off
sorry.
in here.
Go again.
Come again.
Ah.
Actually,
And his opponent on the other side
No,
of the
no,
computer,
no.
the crocodile.
Yeah, if you look at it, the Clone X, when he's taking aim, he does have the same like light up discs on the side, but that could easily just
Yeah.
he doesn't have the same faceplate really, unless the
Look.
eyes are just not visible.
Let's go over the case notes. The case notes are, if we go back far enough, when we watched Bad Batch season 1.
No, it is
when we
Clone
first-
X.
Okay, look, when we first saw let's go back all the way. I remember this now. In Bad Batch
All right,
season
AJ,
1, the
sketch
first
this
trailer
out.
we saw, before we knew that Crosshair was going to like
Did I sketch it out?
execute Order 66, right? There was a shot of like him in the trailer in the Imperial armor, and it's like, who is that? And like it was literally his belt, and I was like, okay, that first of all, so that was like very clear. But like this, we don't have anything that's very clear because it's none of his original armor to our knowledge. Sure, it looks a little bit like it just kind of looks like a scout variation of the assassin from last season. Let's
After-
call it that.
No, it is honestly, Jamie. Like, well, hold on. Counterpoint. It's
Yep.
Tech in the Clone X
Counter hack.
armor.
That's the other thing.
Which
Yeah,
is real
like,
dumb if that's the case. But no, I just noticed because I looked real closely at the shot of him like aiming down the sight. You see
Mhm.
this like eye that I thought was invisible, and I just looked at it again, and you can when he looks up, you can faintly see it. So
Yes.
yeah,
all right.
this is definitely a
This-
Clone X.
I like
It's
it.
absolutely Clone X armor. Who knows if it's just an assassin bred clone or if it's Tech?
Is it a blue
I-
eye or is it a normal eye?
What? I'd
Golden
like to
Eye.
see more of the assassins. I think that would be cool if they literally just like activate
oh, they
these-
will.
these
They
assassins.
teased
I
us.
would like to see more of them. So yeah.
I'll
Clone
take care of
agents.
that. No more
Anyway.
Winter Tech for now.
So what do we think the major arcs of this season could be? So we're gonna have like the escape arc, I think, that we mentioned.
Yeah,
We've been hinting at a clone rebellion for like 3 years now.
that
Or
is
no, more
still
than 3 years.
my main guess is Clone
Well-
Rebellion.
That's the end of the season.
That's the end of
That's
the
the season
season.
under.
That's the
Yeah.
I don't really
think
know
that's
what's in the
what this is
middle.
leading
but-
up to.
Like I don't know
it's
what
gonna
I don't know
be-
what Hunter. I think they'll have something with Rex and Echo, because Echo's barely
Yeah.
in the trailer, and I'm assuming he's off helping Rex
Yeah,
because that's kind of where he.
that
fits
makes
Yeah,
the
in,
most sense.
so.
I think that there's potential also that he's like with them on like whatever jobs they're doing. But I don't know. We didn't see him for whatever reason. But yeah, I think it's gonna be they stage the escape, and Hunter is like telling Rex we need to go and get them, and Rex is like you don't even know like where they are, and so like that's probably why they're like not going to find them, which is weird because they've like literally been there before, but they didn't know that's where they didn't know. Isn't
Yeah,
that wild? So if you think about
That's
it,
true.
like they've literally been there.
that is wild.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they gotta find
Yeah.
it. They gotta go back.
They don't
What,
know to go back though.
Wait, have they been there?
Yeah.
Wasn't it at the end of season 1 on the extraction on Darrow
When they
where they
get- when
found
they find-
Gregor?
Well, Darrow is a different planet.
That's a different planet.
Wayland is
Wait,
where.
oh right,
Oh, yeah,
Wayland is the
Wayland.
Yeah.
planet. Right, okay,
Well,
so
then-
never mind. They haven't been there
So they're-
before. Close enough.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I got confused.
Well,
I
I
was
was thinking the
Listen to
same thing.
they look the
Forests,
same.
They look
and they're
similar.
trees, man.
jungle planets.
Trees, and more
Um,
trees.
And then there's Ventress. Like that'll
Yeah.
be. Do we think that'll kind of be like a throwaway arc, or do we think that'll be like Gunji was in season 2,
Maybe.
or not a throwaway? I mean, that was one of
Just
the
like a
best.
stand-
We assumed there
standalone,
was going to be
like
more
a-
to it than there was.
Mm.
Like I feel like it could be a standalone thing, but there is an article that came out that was an interview with the showrunners, and they said that Ventress might be like important for like Omega's overall story, and that sentence alone terrifies me because
They both have white hair.
oh,
Think about that.
That's not why it terrifies me. But I am terrified of the prospect of Omega being force sensitive because that's not something that her character needs.
You don't
Oh
want
my
it to
God,
happen.
No,
really
I don't.
hope
I don't
not.
think she needs it. I mean, I think that what we need.
I don't think so either. Yeah.
I think it would be better to have a character that is for all is normal and like doesn't have like the special powers and can like
She
be
says
incredible.
normal. Unbelievable.
Well, you know what
Messed
I
up.
mean.
I
You
think
call
She doesn't have the
force-sensitive
Force!
freaks.
Sabine kind of threw a wrench in things.
Oh my
Because
God.
we thought we had a clear idea of things, and
Everybody
then now
is
we're like, oh well,
force-sensitive.
so now we don't know. Who knows? Anyway, I still don't think it's possible for a clone to, because it's born in a tube, and therefore, like, how does it get the midichlorians? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The
Sprinkle it
main
in.
thing to talk about is that, yeah, like thematically, it's just more exciting if she's just a regular person, because we've already seen with Gunji, like, she sucks shit at meditating. She sucks at being a Jedi based on what we saw. Like, she tried it, she wasn't good at it at all. I thought
Yeah.
that was a way of saying, hey, shut up. She's
There were
not.
moments when I thought they were hinting at that.
Mhm.
And while I don't
Mhm.
actually think this is going to happen, a thought comes to my mind that perhaps they're keeping Omega, and Omega is special because she might be like the first and only force sensitive clone that actually exists and, you know, is quote unquote normal, as Jamie put it. And I made a joke about her white hair earlier, but if she does have clone sisters, according to what's her name, she doesn't have white hair. So why is Omega different
that
in
is
that
weird.
regard?
It's a very good question.
But
There's a lot of interesting things about Omega. Like,
we'll see.
why is she so important to this whole scheme of things for the Empire and for Nala Se?
Mhm.
I mean, maybe there's like a weird mother-daughter thing with Nala Se, but like I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what makes her so special, and what's so special at Emery Carr for that instance too.
My thought was always that she is the last clone. Like, there are no more clones. She is the last. Boba
Yeah.
Fett was the first. And so perhaps she's like the last key to keeping that like strand alive, you know, that kind of
So-
cloning.
Interesting you say that because I was cruising through episodes recently trying to put my recap together, right?
Oh,
And there was a moment in season 1 in which Nala Se and Lama Su have a discussion about how the DNA strain from Jango Fett is deteriorating because like they are like, we can't like use this anymore. Like we just straight up can't clone from it anymore. We need a
Right.
new original sample. And we only need one. Like we only need one clone sample, but apparently they needed like someone from the Bad Batch. But it was very weird, the conversation that they like have back in season 1. I urge you to go back and like watch it. It's in like episode 2 or 3 of the show. You got to sit through Rampart and Tarkin blowing hot air at each other for like
Having a fired
15
off.
minutes. Yeah. But also, can I just say, can I just say, I hope that we do actually see Rampart again this season, like in jail, because Noshir Dalal, oh my God, I can't. Like, there's just so much way to troll everyone all the time. I just
What if
gotta
he's
say.
in Mount Tantus too?
Noshir?
What if
Sorry,
he-
Rampart. Are you? I need to know.
Pass him in the lunch
I
line. Like,
need to know.
don't. I don't want to talk. No.
But yeah, go back to season 1 and watch that scene about like the specific DNA strains because
rings a bell,
I feel
but-
like they might genuinely want to continue cloning off of Omega's DNA. I don't know.
I
But
mean,
they
I
just,
think
like,
that
that
might-
doesn't make sense.
in the first place, right?
Yeah, that's
that was
exactly,
probably
that's why
the
they wanted her.
plan when they were still Kaminoans. But now that there aren't, and there is no more Camino, that
Yeah.
it probably changed. Ooh, that's a good one.
No.
So you were
It's a spicy
you were
meatball.
you were worried about Omega being secretly force sensitive. Turns out Rampart was secretly force sensitive.
What a twist.
What if Rampart's a clone?
Ooh, of Bode Akuna. Wow,
Oh.
guys,
Oh my
you don't
God, I
get the
wanna
same
go
voice
home.
actor to do 2 roles.
But he
no,
sounds
no
and
way.
looks completely different. So yes,
No.
you
You don't
can.
get 2 voice actors. You
They
don't
sound the
get
same.
one voice actor to do 2 roles. Okay,
No,
well, go
never.
fire Clancy Brown from doing 7.
They're all related.
point. Yeah, they're all
D. Bradley Baker. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
They are all related.
that's
Now
legit.
that's personal.
What's the deal with Omega again, and why she doesn't age like the other clones? Is that just because like
I don't think she was given the
She's-
serum.
Yeah, she was an unaltered clone.
right? Okay.
Period. That was it. I think that
So
that's why
that's-
they wanted her
It's
DNA
like-
was because she was unaltered.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
and like Boba Fett is like out there doing bounty hunting things, and they're like, "Well, crap, we can't get him." So
Only we could get Boba Fett. Years
can't get
later.
Boba,
Hey,
so let's
I
get
need
Omega.
someone to catch this Han Solo asshole. Hey, Boba Fett, how you doing?
hey,
There's got to be like a strand of hair from Jango Fett in the Slave One, right? Like on the headrest.
who has
You
a
know-
slave run? Who has a slave one?
They've tried. All the Kaminoans
Oh.
have tried. Every time they save every single hair, every single toenail, and then they're just like, you know what?
And everything else.
This isn't working. This isn't working because it's not. They're literally just throwing stuff out all the time because they're like, this. It's just not working.
They're throwing shit at the wall, literally. They saved everything.
Okay.
It's okay. So then what's up with Emery Carr? I mean, I know we don't know, but like, what do you think is up
What are
with
you
her?
asking me for? I didn't watch the season
Because we
I
do
didn't get the
we do a
screeners.
podcast and I want to have conversation.
That was
What do you
weird.
think?
Like, what a way to end the season with that revelation. Like,
Yeah.
can someone remind
Wild.
me the exact specifics? Because I just remember being shocked, and I'm like, I don't even remember what I'm supposed to remember anymore.
So like Omega arrives on Mount Tantus and they literally bring her into a room where Crosshair is like strapped to a table. And she's just like staring at him, and then Emery Carr is just like, yeah, well, here he is, and by the way, I'm your sister. And Omega's like,
That's what her sister. Like, what the fuck?
That's
what?
literally-
What's that
that's it.
mean?
Is that,
That
all
is
she
it.
says?
yeah, yeah,
So she could be a
that's pretty much it.
she could be
Maybe
an
she's
altered
just a
clone of
female-
Omega. As
Ch-
Chad
I
Well,
think
she has
Chad
to
might be right.
altered. She can't be older than Omega and be unaltered. That don't make no sense.
Exactly,
They're
They're making
because
girl clones. Uh-oh.
Accelerated
because-
girl clones.
all of the Bad Batch is younger than Omega because they're altered. And so that would make sense. Also,
Which is
know what
wild.
bothers me? You know what bothers me personally? Is that we only know Crosshair's designation number 9904. We don't know what the rest of them are. We like it's assumed. No, I
Yeah,
sussed it out. I assumed. No, I sussed out their code names, Havoc 1 through 5. I did not
So
suss
did
out their numbers.
Four?
Crosshair is 9904. So like
but
no
it's
one
because you
else's
have it
number
for-
has been like given like readily available. So it's assumed Hunter is 1 and then Tech and Wrecker are either 2 or 3. That one is always like up in the air for me because I feel like it could be either way. But Crosshair is 4.
What's
so
Gonki?
is Emery 5? No, Gonki doesn't have a designation number, but if
Gonki's
he did have
100.
one, he would be Havoc 6, by the way, if
He's
you really
Havoc
need to
100.
know.
Actually.
Donkey 100.
Yeah.
Gonki 100. But about Emery Carr, there was an article that was interviewed with Jennifer Corbett and Brad Rao, right? And Jennifer Corbett ended up saying that it's interesting the differences between Emery and Omega because Omega is Emery is very clinical, whereas Omega is the opposite and wants a connection to others. And so like they have like an interesting like dynamic with each other. And Jennifer Corbett
Sounds
also
like force sensitivity to me.
it sounds like having an interpersonal connection to me.
It sounds like you're a friendly person.
No, you can't be friendly. You have to be force sensitive.
Okay.
I like that.
All right.
Okay, Mace Windu.
Mace
He's
Windu's
not
still-
force
He's dead.
sensitive.
He's force sensitive, not friendly. Okay, he's
Yeah.
only one or the other. What about Han? He's not friendly.
And he's not force sensitive.
He's questionably force sensitive
What's the
though.
rules? Which one
Stamp-
is it?
There are
Stamp
no
that,
rules.
Stamp
There
that
are
on
no
a-
rules.
That is my theory, and that has been confirmed. If we look at Han Solo, there you go.
All right.
I think he is a little
I'm
force-
ready for prediction time.
Oh god,
Okay.
we've already been predicting. That's all we've been
true.
doing.
We've been
This
speculating.
is
Now we're
all
predicting.
episodes predicting.
We're putting money on the line here.
Oh
There's
god, we are.
speculation and then there's prediction. It's
We're
set.
gambling. No. Who?
When you
I'll get credit
when you
for it.
gamble, inevitably you will lose.
Let's have predictions for each of the main characters, each of the batch here. So like,
Okay.
who do we think doesn't make it out of this season?
Hunter.
I don't want to say Hunter, but it's
You
gonna be
know,
Hunter.
I'm just gonna say tech because I'm technically right.
Technically, right.
The crocodile. No,
Yeah, no, I don't think the
never thought of
crocodile's gonna
Hunter
make it.
dying, but that would make
Least
a lot of
likely.
sense.
I
The
don't want
mentor
It shouldn't.
figure.
That's why he should be the one to die.
He is.
They're not
yeah,
going to kill Wrecker.
No.
no,
They're not going to kill Crosshair. I don't think.
not after all we've been through.
Like, yeah.
They bring him back and then kill him
They're not
off.
gonna kill
This is
Echo
just going to be a
because
Ben
they've already
Solo
taken
situation
Saturday.
again.
Well, exactly, Jack. Echo. Like, why put him through all what he went through to just kill him again? He's basically already died.
I guess it has to be Hunter.
But he doesn't end up with Rex. Like, he's not with Rex and Rebels. So, like, you think Echo would be with him and Wolf and Gregor. So, the Hunter and Echo die.
Unless they're
Yeah.
all somewhere else.
So you think Echo would choose to live with the Bad Batch then? Unless they all die except Echo, and Echo lives with Omega somewhere.
I don't know. Look, I don't know. I don't like making predictions like this, okay?
You're not supposed to know. You're supposed to
No.
guess.
But I don't want to make predictions like this because, like, why are you forcing me to write AU fan fiction of everyone dies? No, I don't want that living and taking space in
Hey,
my brain.
You could have made the option no one dies. I said,
Look.
who do we not think makes it out? You could have said nobody or everybody.
I'm pretty
That's a
sure
double
you
negative,
said.
AJ.
I'm pretty
We
sure
don't
you
do that
said
around
going
here.
in. You said going into that. Let's do predictions for each character. Who do you think will die? I thought that was literally an ultimatum. This person is going to die.
Who was least likely to make it out has a different connotation.
There you go.
Like, you know, it's
There we
like they may still make it, but like, who do you think is most likely to get got doesn't mean I think they're gonna die. It's like it's probably gonna be Hunter because thematically, if anyone was going to at this point, but we already lost Tech, so I mean, like, just give us a break.
This
What
is
the-
Seriously.
But this is, I hate to say it, but this is kind of like a Rogue One situation.
It is.
Where
We
were
don't
these
know
guys
that,
in the original
though.
trilogy? You know,
Well,
why would they
sorry,
suddenly not
the
join the
Bad
fight?
Batch is the Bad Batch is all that is stopping the Death Star from not blowing up?
Yeah,
Yes.
dude, they're gonna blow up Mount Tantus.
If anyone could blow it up, it was Wrecker.
Here's the
That
deal.
wasn't either.
Look,
Damn,
I'm not disputing
dude,
you have
you're
a
right.
good shot. But-
Here's my additional prediction. If you want a prediction, the way that most of these shows is at the very end they kind of end on some sort of a solid-ish note. Now, the moment I said that, I was like, "Oh, the show's literally ended in Order 66, and then some absolute catastrophe in the other one." so we're due for a good-ish ending with
This
this
isn't-
series. I gotta
This isn't
say,
the show.
I don't think this is the show.
We're in the
dark
darkest of
times
times.
are not a setting for good endings.
we're due for a good-ish ending
The Bad
on one of
Batch
these
show-
animated shows.
The Bad Batch is going to incite the Clone Rebellion somehow, but in the process, they are going
Yes.
to massively regret their actions and feel horrible about the loss in life because it was a futile effort. And that's going to
Exactly.
be a bittersweet victory. And they're going to realize, oh, fuck, why don't we just chill out for a while? Like, we're not doing, let's just keep ourselves afloat. We're not really helping out right now.
Yeah,
now
and
it's-
they just
And now it's 6 ABY, and they come out of retirement and they go, "What do we miss?"
If the Bad Batch
Oh, Wrecker,
and,
you're looking old.
if the Bad
You
Batch
too, Rex.
and a handful of clones are like the first stepping stone to defeating the Empire, the first stepping stones of the rebellion, like that's
That's what
like,
I
that
personally
means a
think.
lot. That's a
That's
big deal.
and that's gonna be huge, and that's gonna be so freaking cool. How cool? Well, I mean, again, I don't know if it's true, but if it is, how cool would it be if the clones were the first rebels? That's awesome.
Especially
That's
they
just
were-
straight up awesome.
They were used by Palpatine as a tool.
They
As
were
a
the
for
first
evil.
people
The
to
first
realize they were
rebels.
used as a tool, and they came back and fought back against the Empire and lost horribly. But
Hmm. But sparked a rebellion.
but sparked a rebellion. That's so cool.
Hmm.
Don't even.
I think they're just
man.
one of the first of many, because the whole thing about rebellions in a totalitarian society or like order, most of the time it takes a while for any sort of like cohesive, like connected action to take form in terms of like full scale revolt. Like if you look at like World War II, occupied France, like that sort of thing, like it took coordinated underground effort with like guerrilla tactics to get anywhere. And initially at first you're just going to see a bombing here, like an attack here, like it's going to be sporadic. And I think the Bad Batch are just one of these sporadic early revolts that occur across the galaxy before things start to connect the way we see in Andor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, the
Because,
way we
like-
see in Rebels, because really even Andor shows a very loosely connected rebellion that really does not get along,
Fairly
and even
enough,
throws each other under the bus. You
Hey,
know,
They
Oh,
can only
yeah.
they can only do so much as well. I mean,
Krieger.
like the first 2 seasons, it's
R.I.P.
anytime we see Rex he's collecting the boys. That's all he's doing is he's just collecting numbers, and they haven't taken any actual action yet. So I think it's a good shot that maybe the back half of the season is they will have a steady attack on something somewhere.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
clones
With
are
the
the
numbers that
first
they have.
organized rebellion. I think that is the direction we're going, and
Yeah, I agree.
I love that. That is such good lore. That is like just
Great
such
lore.
good thematic lore. Yeah. So that's my prediction. That's like I said this before we even got on the air. I'm like, this is the only thing I got, dude, because I'm like obsessed with that thought.
You've
I'm
had it for 3
constantly
years.
thinking about it.
Like-
I know.
Oh,
and
but what if you
it's-
don't get it? What are you gonna do?
be disappointed and
write
move
an
on
angry
with my
letter.
life?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
cry.
that's a healthy way to look at things.
No.
Cool. Just checking in.
Do you think it's kind of? I was thinking of this as we were going. I never really thought of this before, but do you think you could kind of think of some clones as like almost like the Jedi in hiding? Like from this point on, there's going to be some sort of conflict probably, but from there, maybe the different clones go into hiding. We know Cut is in hiding, even though he's
No,
long
but that's a
deserted.
really good point because
Rex is in hiding with Gregor.
You know
So maybe the
what?
Bad Batch
We've
are
never
also
really seen
somewhere.
the clones without their helmets often, but I'm sure like a commander, like you would have seen an officer like on the ground, maybe like without a helmet, that sort of thing. And like if you lived during the Clone Wars, you would know what a clone looked like, and like your face would be marked forever. Yeah, you'd be even
Mhm.
worse off than a Jedi because Jedi just can't help themselves. They just stop being selfless bastards for 1 second. They could, as we saw in Kenobi, they could survive for the most part, but
They called
Yeah.
them
yeah,
selfless
clones literally have no
bastards.
way to hide that. They are a clone.
That is
it'd be,
true.
It'd be really cool if they got worked into being some sort of like almost like silent partners with the rebellion as well, which is why we don't see them. And then it also goes in hands with the whole thing with Ventress and Quinlan Voss and the
And her
Jedi
being a clone,
path.
yes.
Do we think we'll see Quinlan? I
I
know.
like
Connor.
That could be a
mentioned
fun
him
reveal.
earlier.
That could be
I
a
would
really
love
fun
that.
reveal if he's like,
he's
because
not
he's
dead, and we're gonna bring Asajj.
no, he's still
And
around.
he was
so,
very,
like,
Yeah.
very underused in Clone Wars. He's a
Yeah.
cool dude. Cool
And obviously
Jedi.
he was mentioning Kenobi. And now that I'm thinking about it, we
Yep.
also have the clone veteran begging in Kenobi as well for
Yeah, I was just
money.
thinking that.
So I guess we have some idea of maybe where clones end up by the
Some
time
threads.
Kenobi rolls around, or at
Cast
least
aside.
ones who aren't. Sad,
Oh.
but what are you gonna do?
I mean, Quinlan Voss also was mentioned in Revenge of the Sith. So, I mean, if anyone deserves to be seen again, it should be him.
yeah.
And he appears in the cult classic, The Phantom Menace.
Dude,
It's true.
cult classic re-released in theaters this year. Can't wait to
Yes.
be there. Can't wait to
Oh.
be there
Oh,
That's
man,
big news.
It's gonna be great.
every weekend. Every weekend.
That was my first new. That was probably all of our first new
Oh, yeah.
Star Wars in the theater. It was just
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
we'll always have that.
Absolutely.
Then
That
the
merch.
3D re-release.
I'm not letting what happened with the 3D re-release happen again.
I don't care about
What is that?
re-release of the movie so
But
much
we
as I
went to
care
it.
about re-release of the merch. Can we bring
Oh,
all that?
all of that again.
Can you
Imagine
bring back
that.
the lunch boxes and the,
Oh,
Just bring
the
back
Jar
all
Jar
that.
tongues and the
Yeah,
The
the
Jar Jar
lightsaber
lollipop.
lollipops.
the inflatable Luker Hulk ship pool party accessories. And
God, we
please,
didn't know what we had.
we didn't. Dude, I'm telling you, if it exists, there is Phantom Menace merch of it. It's rule number 1.
rollerblades.
It's the Rule 34 of merchandising.
Exactly. I don't know what Rule 66 is.
Nah.
That's what we'll call it.
Yeah.
It exists.
Too much,
There's
too
merch of it.
Where my final kind of thing on my notes here was, will we see more of these characters in the future after the Bad Batch?
Well, we know
If
of
they all
Rex
die,
again.
then no. But
Probably. not.
Omega
They're all
does not die.
No,
I
there's
can
no
put
way.
money on that.
They're not going to kill a kid. They're not going to kill a kid
And
unless it's episode 3. But we're past that.
we know we see Rex again, obviously, in
Yeah.
Yeah.
in Rebels. But do we think we see any more of the Batch in the future?
I think so. I mean, like, we don't. Yeah, I mean, like, we don't know what's on the horizon for anything for animation at this point in time. So, like, live action or animation, like, I feel like there's a solid chance for at least some of them to pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause we have
Lucasfilm
no idea.
does love this era quite a bit.
For
So,
animation. I think,
okay.
yeah.
I really
I hope
hope
so.
they keep animation going, because there's like,
Well, they have to.
I've been on record here saying that's like some of the best Star Wars storytelling, and like the animation is just getting way better looking as we go. Like if you watch Bad Batch season 2 and then watch Clone Wars season 1, you're like, oh geez, like
No.
It's so rough going back. It's harder
It's
and harder
crazy.
every time.
so you have this animation. I mean, they have their own big studio, right, with the clone helmet logo and everything that they made recently. Like they're gonna do something. I know they have Tales of the Jedi. I believe there's a season 2 coming out this year of that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
The atmosphere is just incredible when
Yeah.
you look at Bad Batch. And like even just like Tales of the Jedi, just like seeing those characters again, like it's like, oh wow, this is crisp.
Lucasfilm Animation is up there with some of the best animation studios around. Like their
Yeah.
animation is top notch, looks the best, one of the best. I still think Pixar looks the best, but Lucasfilm is a close second. Their stuff looks just unbelievable. It really is just so well done.
In an
Yeah,
era
it would be a
where-
waste. It would be a waste to not
100%.
continue that.
And just to have, like, ever since Clone Wars started, and if you want to go back before that to the original Clone Wars, like animation has been a part of Star Wars. And if you want to go all the way back to the Winter Classic, the holiday special,
The Winter
Soldier.
Classic.
You call it the
Golden
Winter
Classic.
Classic.
I don't know, my brain's all over the place tonight. But
That was amazing.
the holiday special with the little animated short in there, which I love. That's the best part of that special. Like animation is just a cool part of Star
With
Wars. And
long foot face Han. I
how can I
love long foot
forget about
face Han.
droids? Good
And
show.
droids and yeah.
Ewoks.
no, it's just droids. Ewoks
No.
was
Yep.
well, there wasn't there an Ewoks animated thing?
I think
Yep, there was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a
And there's the
show.
live
They
action.
tried to make a whole ass thing out of that. Yeah.
But
What was I going to say? Oh, in an era where we're seeing like a lot of animation kind of get half-assed, or like maybe I'm thinking more CGI in general, like because of overworked studios with not the like with very low budgets, like like Marvel and like stuff like that. Like we're just like, heck, Kenobi honestly could have looked a lot better. I'm just gonna put it out there. Like I really like Kenobi, but there are just some parts where it's
We
like,
all think that.
yeah, and like it
Right.
shows when you look at the budget, it's like 80 million versus 200 million for like Kenobi versus Andor. Like you see the
Yeah.
money where it went and everything. And in an era where like a lot of things get phoned in visually, it's nice to see that that studio doesn't phone it in and like really creates atmosphere. And like when they walk into an area, like the fog and like the lighting, everything, like
The
you just-
lighting is it
Mm.
makes all the difference in the world. You watch, like you said, Clone Wars season 1, and it is like
so flat.
just flat lighting. Everybody's lit the same. And it's like I mean, you can't go on too much about it because it was 2008 Cartoon Network
Yeah, for the
computer
time, it was
animated show.
great.
They might
The
as well be
models
doing friggin'
stretch.
Jimmy Neutron for crying out loud. Like
yeah.
it's the same kind of technology they were working with. So
I gotta say, to get us back on topic and to also just like kind of like wrap us up, there was another incredible clip that's been released so far of Omega and Crosshair talking to each other. And there is like a wall in between them, but it's like this like grate, and like literally the lighting, Omega is like crosshaired over her eye.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Oh, no.
So
He's gonna kill.
It's the thumbnail for this video, actually. I
Has
think.
she
Yeah.
killed?
I think that's a different one, but has she
Man,
killed?
has she
I
killed?
don't know. Probably.
Probably
I
not
don't.
on
I'm not
purpose,
sure.
if ever. Like maybe like she like did something that caused someone to get blown up, but like not intentionally.
all right, so we're
I
gonna have to go back and do an Omega kill count. For,
Yeah, I gotta do a
after
kill
the
count
series
for
is over.
everybody. Like I'm gonna do a
Count
rewatch. I'm gonna do a kill count
per
because I gotta
character.
figure it out. Like
You should.
like people do with Rebels. Y'all know
Yes.
it's killed 1,000 people.
I'm pretty sure that she has. I don't know how many though. So we'll
But-
get to the bottom of that.
Chad says she has.
Maybe it's like a video game. Oh, she has. Okay. Well,
I don't know
it
who,
probably
though.
didn't matter that much, but maybe we'll have a kill that like actually like means something. Oh, okay. Well, they don't count. They're faceless goons.
Maybe she kills the Emperor.
Wait, so she has less
Maybe.
restraint than the Bad Batch who are trained? I mean, okay, that actually makes sense. As I
Hmm.
said it.
But yeah,
But
Yeah.
anyway,
it's fun to do a
That's
little Bad Batch preview. Talking with Jack again.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be back.
We'll hopefully we have a nice schedule of guests lined up, or group of guests lined up for the season. So we'll see.
Bars for race.
Schedule.
Schedule. So that's it. This is our last episode before the Bad Batch season 3.
This is our last episode with Jamie the way she is now Bad Batch.
Pre-knowledge, pre-knowing things.
Pre-rebad.
Savor it.
Batch.
Unless we squeak another episode in somehow.
I doubt it. Very busy week upcoming. So, but yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining us live in the chat. If you've been hanging out with us tonight, if you've been listening to the audio version of this, so you can catch this in the video version on YouTube. If you've been watching the video version, you can take us to go on your favorite audio listening platforms. We're on social media everywhere at HoloNet Marauders. Sometimes it's just at HoloNet Marauder, depending on the platform. We'll be posting updates weekly with our Bad Batch just roundtable discussions afterwards and other Star Wars stuff in between as well on our channel on YouTube. Thank you so much for listening to the HoloNet Marauders podcast.
See you, everybody.
What a beauty.